Feeling like you have a million amazing ideas, but you can't seem to turn them into a reality? You're not alone. Creative entrepreneurs everywhere struggle with turning their vision into an actionable plan. That's why I'm inviting you to Your Best Year Yet, a free masterclass that transforms scattered ideas into a simple strategic roadmap for 2025. You'll discover the number one reason your big ideas haven't materialized yet, and more importantly, exactly how to change that. No more overwhelm, no more burnout, just a clear path to building a business that supports your dream life. Join me and learn how to create a business plan that you'll actually use, one that turns your abundant ideas into achievable goals. Of course, we have a link in the show notes, but you can also head on over to flourishthriveacademy.com/best year masterclass to save your spot. Your best year isn't just ahead of you, it's waiting for you to claim it. Let's do this. Welcome to Thrive by Design, the podcast for ambitious, independent jewelry brands looking to profit from their products. Get ready to make more and sell more doing what you love without spending every single waking minute doing it. Hey, and if you're a creative, fashion, or product-based business, I want to welcome you to the show. I'll be dropping big tips on launching, growing, and scaling your business so you can spend more of your precious time using your creativity to make money. You ready? All right, let's do this. Welcome to the podcast today. Hey there, it's Tracy Matthews, and I'm so excited to be here today wishing you a very happy new year. It is 2025. The vibe is amazing. I am so excited for this year because it feels like the energy is just, there's this trend, chef's kiss. I don't know, I'm going to use the trend. It feels chef's kiss right now. I don't really know what that means, except that it's like, it's perfection, right? And even though I know a lot of people were just ready, I was talking with our advertising team, and a lot of people are they were ready to leave 2024 behind. And I know that I was raising my hand high, could not wait for the year to be over. And quite frankly, I kind of checked out of a lot of my digital assets and the business for a minute because of some stuff going on in my personal life and just wanting to take a break from everything during the holidays, which was great. The step back that I actually needed. And I hope that you got that time as well. But now that we're back in the first full week of January, I'm excited to be here and supporting you in helping you create literally your best year yet. So I was invited to a business mastermind on Saturday. And in the initial start of the mastermind, we did this practice called the Release Method by Jacqueline Renee. Check her out, find her on Instagram. She's an amazing healer and has these movement classes that are designed to release emotions in your body. And one of the opening prompts that she gave us is like, what is the purpose? Like, what is your why? What is the reason you started a business? Now, if you've taken our Laying the Foundation programs and some of our other programs, you've heard me talk about the deeper why. But a lot of us have a deep why as to why we have become business owners or entrepreneurs or why we're creating a side hustle. And so as we lean into this new year and you start exploring your deeper why, I mean, I know I stepped back and started exploring my why again. And the reason I started everything was because my mother passed away when I was 21. And it was very sudden. I was the last person in my family to see her alive, which is crazy. And she was on the verge of starting her own business and actually living a life for herself instead of her children. And it is very noble to raise children and live your life for other people. But at a certain point, your life is here to serve you. And someone said to me a couple of weeks ago, Tracy, your business is designed to serve you. So if it's not, you need to evaluate why. And so as we're launching into this new year, the energy feels so great. It's like, I think I said chef's kiss earlier. It's chef's kiss. It's just a great vibe. How can we all just ride on this feeling of like, you know, for me, what it felt like was like just an oppression or something has lifted. It's like an energetic thing that's happening in the universe. I don't even know how to describe it, but I know that many of my friends are experiencing the same phenomenon. And we've all said, it just feels different for some reason. And so if we're rolling into 2025 and we're leaning into what some people call a golden age, how can we lean into things that are actually going to be supportive of what we're doing and where we're going? And so today's episode, I wanted to talk about some key trends that are happening for 2021. And it's not the type of trends that you're going to think about, but I hope that you get some value out of this, or I know you're going to get some value out of this. And I want to explain what I mean a little bit more. And this all starts with really getting clear. Number one, what is your purpose? What is your why? What are the reasons or the key motivators for you wanting to create a business or be a creative that's making money from their art or the ideas, right? Art is any idea that you have that you're putting out into the world and adding value to other people's lives. And sometimes when we're thinking about our art, we don't even think of it in terms of charging for it, because typically the thing that we're most gifted at is the thing that is so easy for us. We feel guilty for actually charging for it. And so I want you to just own that right now. You have gifts. You have a vision. We want to get you clear on your vision and start thinking of your vision beyond your vision and go full force this year as we're moving into 2025. So if you've taken any of our programs before, or if you haven't, I just want to share with you a little bit about what's going on over at Flourish and Thrive Academy. And you've been hearing me talking about a new program that I'm going to be launching in the spring. We'll get to that a little bit later. Anyway, for years, every single January, we've launched our Laying the Foundation program. And at the end of last year, I launched a brand new program called Your Best Year Yet. It is something that I am so proud of. And the reason I am so proud of it is because it takes all of my favorite aspects of being an entrepreneur and a business owner and making it relatable for anyone who is a creative thinker. This is not just for jewelry business owners. This is for all types of creative minds, so that they can build an easy to implement and execute business plan that turns their ideas into cash and helps them do what they love in a simple, easy way without it being complicated. And one of the reasons why people don't grow in their business is, number one, they don't have clarity on where they're going. Number two, they lack a big enough vision. And number three, they are not creating plans to help them basically manifest or make the vision that they have turn into real, tangible results. They're winging it. They have an idea. They're like, oh, I want to launch a collection, but they're not putting metrics around it. And when you do that, guess what happens? You get wishy-washy outcomes, the results are wishy-washy, and it becomes really hard to grow. And I know from personal experience, I've been there many times, and I'm like looking at myself right now saying like, okay, you need to put some numbers around these things or else it's going to be one of those wishy-washy plans. And this is always the thing that I'm coming back to, because as creative thinkers, ideation and fun, like all the things that we do that make us brilliant creatives, are not necessarily the talents that are going to get us to execute the things that we're good at. And I was speaking at this business mastermind that I mentioned earlier to one of the founders at the group, and she has a very successful business, and she has a COO running the business now. It's doing great, and she wants to be able to go out and teach other people in her industry how to do what she has done, because typically what happens is these people in her industry burn out after 3 to 5 years, and then they just burn everything to the ground and quit. And she's found this way to have a sustainable business for over 12 or 13 years. And it's easy and it's profitable and it's fun. And so, but what she told me as she's going in and like thinking about doing this, supporting other people, coaching or mentoring or creating some sort of content around this and helping others who are in the space, is it feels weird to her because it's not natural. And sometimes when we're putting ourselves out of our comfort zone and pushing ourselves into a growth zone, that's really where the magic lies. You may have heard me say this before, but the magic you seek is in the work you're avoiding. So if you're stepping back into the things that you know because it's easy, well, guess what? You are not probably going to grow or reach the goals that you want to over the next year. So I want to dive into the trends that I'm talking about today. But before I do, I just want to mention this, that if you are a creative small business owner and you want some accountability to really manifest and create a massive vision that is way bigger than you're thinking for yourself. I call this a vibrant vision for your life and your business, and then create a business that supports that vision and helps you achieve your personal goals. Because as I'll tell you who said this, but as Jason told me a couple of weeks ago, Tracy, your business is supposed to support you. And if it's not supporting you, then you've got to rethink it. And this is a message that I want everyone to hear, because that support that your business is supposed to provide for you is to give you the life that you want. And if it's not doing that, then it's not serving you. if you created a job for yourself, if it feels hard, if you're burnt out, if you're stressed out all the time, if you dislike your business now, or if you're avoiding actually doing some of the stuff you know that's going to help your business grow, and you're trying to turn it into something that is a real business, not just like a side hustle that's a hobby biz or even a full-time hobby biz, because I know a lot of people have those too. If you want to take this seriously and really build something that's supporting your business, I'd love for you to encourage checking out that program because it's great. And if you're someone who is really trying to get a jewelry business off the ground, we are going to be opening up enrollment for our Laying the Foundation program, which we've restructured how we're going to be enrolling that. So it's super fun. You're going to be hearing about it. We're going to be hosting a masterclass based on our content from our iconic Jewelry Brand Makeover Bootcamp called the Jewelry Brand Makeover Masterclass. And we're doing it a little bit differently this year. And I'm going to be sharing next week a little bit more about how you can get in on that. And depending on when you're listening to this, you might hear the pre-roll and the post-roll messages about that masterclass, and the program. Anyway, I want to dive in and talk about the ins and outs and the trends for 2025. So this is an Instagram trend that's going on right now where people are posting, here's what I'm into for 2025 and here's what's out for 2025. I will no longer be doing this. And so I played around a little bit and created some ins and outs for people who are creative and running their own business. And these all tie back into your business, marketing, your mindset, and everything moving forward. So let's start with our business growth ins and outs. What is in is authenticity, and what is out is faking it. And here's what I mean by that. There is a huge movement towards small business owners sharing the real story of what it's like to host a small business and be in business. It's not an easy road. And so this polished persona and veneer of you pretending like everything's amazing and everything's great all the time is not what people want to know. And it's not that you have to pour your soul and spill the tea on everything. It's just about being authentic and sharing the journey with your ideal customers, especially when it comes to your social media. What is in for business growth? Accountability, and what is out is going at it alone. So we've seen a huge draw towards more accountability. And instead of one of the things that is and I would say a trend in a positive direction in the coaching space in general, is this lean towards supporting people in getting a transformation with accountability as opposed to just giving them tons of more information. So it's different, right? One is about execution and getting a result, and the other is about just throwing information. With everything that's come on the scene over the last couple of years, at your fingertips, if you know what to ask, you can get any information that you want. It might not necessarily be good information, but you can get a lot of different information. What is important is the right information and being held accountable to actually get those things done. Now, what is in for 2025 is a clear vision of your future. What is out are fuzzy ideas and a lack of vision. And what I mean by that is the more clarity you have on where you're going and the more clear vision of what you want your life to look like, the better off you are going to be. I've been doing so much mindfulness and manifestation and transformational channeling work. And the messages that keep coming through is get into the feeling state of what you desire to call it in and create a plan that moves you in the direction of whatever it is you're creating. And what I mean by that, let's say you have a dream to go to Italy for 2 weeks in the summer. And that's a dream vacation for you. You want to go to Lake Como and, spend a month with the Clooneys, whatever it is, or 2 weeks with the Clooneys, whatever it is, or whoever, whatever your fantasy is. Everyone's got a different one, right? Well, if you haven't been able to do that or make the time, or it's been seeming impossible, well, what would it be like to actually reverse engineer? What is it going to cost you to go to Lake Como? And this is a really funny story, and I hope this podcast isn't way too long, but Jason shared this story. We went to Lake Como like 2-3 years ago with our friends, and he was sharing the story. He's like, I just never thought I would be able to go to Lake Como. And I was like, why? And he's like, because I thought in order to go to Lake Como, you had to have a private jet. Now, I started laughing so hard because clearly he had this fantasy or vision about the people who hung out in Lake Como. And yes, it is a ritzy area. We went to Lake Como. We stayed in an Airbnb. We weren't staying at like a $5,000 a night hotel. But it's funny because in our home, we have this picture of Lake Como, and we took pictures of Jason in front of that actual house on that cliff. And I want you to know that there are lots of different ways to get what you want or get to Lake Como and that you might not be thinking about. So it's really just about getting in that feeling state and understanding that where there's a willingness, there is a way, as Michael Beckwith says. I love that. What is in is evaluating your life and business, and what is out is ignoring looking at your life and business. Now, this is a really important one because self-evaluation, especially once a quarter and especially a big one at the end of the year, is very important for you to course correcting and getting on track for what you want. So if you say that you have a goal, and I talk about this in your Year to Thrive program, but one of my goals is to continue to be fit over 50. And in order to do that, I need to take care of my body. I need to work out. I need to drink a lot of water, right? I need to lift weights on a regular basis. And the way that I know that I'm getting progress on that is, number one, to evaluate how my strength is doing at the end of every quarter, and also evaluate all the actions that I'm taking in order to stay fit. And I'll be honest with you, I got a little bit off track and I didn't gain any weight, but I definitely noticed that my muscle tone is way down compared to what it was. So for me, this is a big goal and I want to stay on track, and I'm going to reassess every single quarter to make sure that I'm moving forward towards that goal. But when I was like in this avoidance stage and not looking at it, my butt got flat. And I'm joking, but sorry, not sorry. But it's the same thing for anything in your life and your business. You need to evaluate your progress and have reflections in order to course correct and to move forward towards what you want. And ignoring that is one of the biggest downsides, one of the worst things that you could do for your life or your business. What is in are having solid 90-day goals and plans, and what is out is wishy-washy goals and no plans. And I think I've already kind of clearly spoken about this, but if you have targets for your business, I want you to write them down. I want you to reverse engineer how you're going to get them. I want you to actually take a look at the numbers, and then I want you to execute those plans. One of my favorite things to do is to support creatives in having 3 core goals for every quarter for their business and 3 core goals for every quarter for their personal life. Work on those 3 things, get into daily habits and routines that back up those goals, and you're going to see amazing things happen to you. What is in for business growth is knowing your numbers, and what is out is avoiding your numbers. Okay, are you balancing your accounts every single month? Are you looking at the money every single month? Do you know what your sales are? It blows my freaking mind. I have people paying, they were, like in our Momentum program, for instance, paying $10,000 a year. And occasionally I would get someone who would be like, it's been a terrible year. And I'm like, well, where are you over last year? And they're like, I don't know. I don't want to look. Then they go and look and they're like, oh my gosh, I'm up $15,000 over this quarter last year. My business has actually grown this year. And it's funny what our mind will do to us because we're afraid, or we get into that avoidance place because looking at numbers is uncomfortable. I will tell you, if you get into a regular exercise of looking at the numbers, metrics, growth, your social media numbers, like all these things, it's going to start to feel really comfortable for you, and you're going to feel out of place not knowing the numbers. So I encourage you to know your numbers. And in your Year to Thrive, I share with you just a couple of simple ways to create KPIs around the important metrics that matter. So you can decide for you and your company what the most important thing is. You can automate the number reporting and look at them every week. Make a date with yourself to look at the numbers. What's in? Having an identity upgrade and owning your success. What is out? Holding on to limiting beliefs. So if you're operating out of scarcity and lack, it is time to let that go. One of the fastest ways to grow as an individual and a business owner is to upgrade your identity by stepping in and visualizing yourself as the person who has already achieved what you desire to create. Super powerful. All right, let's talk about support. Now, this one is fun. What is in? Supporting small and local businesses. What is out? Amazon, because it's easy. Now, I'm not suggesting that you completely eliminate Amazon or some of these other big companies, because I know it's kind of hard and sometimes you need things right away. And we just ordered all the sound panels for the podcast studio that we're building from Amazon. So I get it, because it's fast, the delivery is great and all those things. But where can you start shopping local? Where can you start shopping from smaller companies? You have a small company. That's why you're listening to this podcast. So shop from small companies as much as you possibly can. One of the things that I'm doing to contribute to this, and I was so excited about it because I live in a very small town here in Arizona, and we're about 20 minutes, 25 minutes away from any major shopping area in Scottsdale. So it's either drive to 25 minutes away or work with what's in town or order online. So I was ordering this fresh dog food for years, and there was this new holistic vet that opened up in town, and they're carrying raw, unprocessed dog food that's made from, that the nutrition comes from the actual food inside of the food. It's not synthetic vitamins. And when I was talking to this vet about it, she's like, well, yeah, in some of these other brands that claim it's fresh food, they're putting synthetic vitamins in it, and it's not healthy for the animal. And I had no idea. And so I decided to start buying my dog food from this local vet. It's more expensive, but I don't have to, there's less carbon emissions and all the things. And I also get to support a local business. I love going in there. Although it does kind of suck when Roxy doesn't like the treats that I get her, because one time I got her, before the holidays, I got her some bison meat and she did not like it. She wouldn't eat. She eats everything. This dog will scarf it down in a second. She would not eat it. I'm like, okay, well, let's check that one off the list. She doesn't like bison, so we're gonna skip that one. What is in for support? Trusting and betting on yourself. What is out? Not believing in yourself. Well, this ties back into our limiting beliefs, but betting on yourself is the number one thing that you can do. And one of the best ways to build trust is to start creating an internal channel where you meditate or connect with God or source or the universe every single day for at least 5 minutes and ask questions. What do I need to see right now? What are the lessons I need to learn? How are you divinely guiding me? Ask for divine guidance. And go back and listen to my episode with Peter Kell a couple of months ago because it's great. He gives a great framework on how you can have a conversation with God or your higher power, whatever you believe in, and using that as a clear channel, because trusting yourself is the only way, right? Getting those heck yes moments. If you don't believe in yourself, or you're beating yourself up, or you're in this mental spiral, that's you. That's no one else. And this ties into my next vibing question, or next vibing trend. Is what's in are positive vibes in the golden age, and what is out, scarcity vibes and constant worry. I feel like the collective universe has been in a state of constant worry for the past 4 years. And for some reason, that is shifting. And you have a choice right here. You can stay in the worry, or you can upgrade into the golden age. So get your vibes high and start working on that energetic resonance, because you'll start seeing more positive things come to you. What is in as far as support goes? Masterminds, communities, and in-person events. All these things in person. What is out? Hiding behind your computer. It is time for you to get in person. I'll be hosting some events this year. Come to mine. Find a group of people in your local area that you can meet up with once a month or once a quarter, and create local meetups. That there's nothing that beats in-person connection. And I've been doing it here with women in Arizona about every month to every other month. Sometimes it's just a meetup and meeting with friends, and other times it's a more formal business mastermind, and it's been great. I've also joined an in-person mastermind, another mastermind where we meet in person. So do it. Trust me, this is game-changing for you. What is in as far as support? Women supporting women. And what is out? Women against other women. It is time. There is a feminine rising, as my friend Jessica Zweig says. Grab her book, The Light Work. It's amazing. It is time for us to rise up as women and empower and lean into our femininity. And if there's guys listening to this, it is time for you to support women and also step into your divine masculine. Both are very credible and important. There is this energy out there of the feminine, the divine feminine and the divine masculine rising. And it is time to step into that for yourself. What is in for support? Investing in yourself now. What is out? Waiting for the illusion of the right time. There is no better time than the beginning of the year to invest in a program, to invest in a learning, to invest in, upgrading your skill set, holding your own self accountable. All of these things are important. There is never going to be a right time. There is never going to be the right financial situation. There is never going to be X, Y, and Z. It's an illusion, right? It's time for you to bet on yourself and step into the next version of you. All right, I'm going to wrap this up with my marketing section. So what is in for marketing? Planning your content and marketing in advance. What is out? The last minute post scramble. This one is for me because I've been in a last minute social media post scramble for a while. So I'm working on getting ahead. This is really important, having a really solid marketing calendar. And honestly, I will tell you why this is the case is because I have been a control freak around this, and I've done some internal investigation around this. So if any of that lands with you, let's take a look at that together, because it's time to plan in advance and get a little bit more organized with all types of marketing. We're pretty much in advance for internal marketing. It's just the social media that I am such a control freak around because I want it to look and be a certain way. Anyway, and I kind of like doing it, all the things. All right, what is in for marketing? Automation and real-time engagement. What is out for marketing? Fake followers and fake engagement. It's not real. And I've seen so many people out there. I thought this was like a known thing for like the last 5 years. Do not get a bot farm to give you 1 million likes as soon as you post something. It actually is really bad for the algorithm. And I've seen some of my peers doing this, which is fascinating. And you can always tell, because some of them do have a big following. So I'm not saying that they're not true, but if you post something 1 minute ago and you already have 1,200 likes, it is clear that it is a bot. And the Instagram algorithm also knows that. And so get your profile set up, create some automation so that you have immediate responses on comments when things come in, especially if you're using it for lead generation or anything like that. And make sure that you go in once or twice a day and reply to all of your comments with a real thoughtful response. The most important thing that you can do. And there are some hacks and strategies that we teach in our programs, like laying the foundation, that are tried and true, that always work, that will help you at any time the algorithm changes, get more people looking at your posts. But the problem is that most people post and ghost, and they're not really doing what the platform is meant to be, is to be social. And it's not that you have to spend all day on there. You just have to understand how it works and how to get traction behind your content. In for marketing, story-driven carousels out, single photos of your jewelry. Guys, pictures of rings on fingers is not the thing that is going to really move you to the next phase. Using different types of content and carousel posts are really important right now. It is the one thing that's growing. And I just got a tip at the mastermind I was at this last weekend that using that carousel post feature, but then on the second post, using a video in the second post. So you can create a reel, download it, or create some sort of video, post your first slide for the carousel, post a video for the second slide, and then a few more ongoing. So here's an example. Top 10 engagement ring trends for 2025. You have a video, maybe of you for 1 minute talking about 2 to 3 of the trends, scroll past through to the next things for the rest of the trends. So there's different ways that you can do this. Use your imagination, you're creative, get with it. In for marketing, reels with strong hooks. The strong hook is just the copy on the graphic that gets people to stop their scroll and pay attention to what you're talking about. What is out? Dancing reels. I mean, I think they've kind of been out for a while, but I still see them occasionally. And they're fun to do just for fun, but not the only thing. What is in for marketing? Building your email list and your funnels. What is out for marketing? Avoiding email altogether and not taking responsibility for your marketing. What is in for marketing? Pinterest and Pinterest traffic, free organic traffic. It's been in for a long time. Most people don't think about it. Most people don't do it right. And they just want to run ads, or they're hoping for Instagram to do all the heavy listing. But Pinterest is one of the key traffic drivers to getting cold traffic to your website and getting new people to find you. Have a Pinterest funnel. It's very important. Out, ads. I'm joking a little bit because ads are always going to be in, but I've seen the ad costs have gone up so much over the last couple of years. I've seen so many people just trying to run ads and expecting it to work, and it's just not working. So you really need an effective funnel and a really good media buyer for your ads to work, and for the most part, especially on Instagram and Facebook. So other areas that I would recommend running ads right now is maybe using promoted pins or rich pins, things where you could put a little money behind your Pinterest pins that are driving traffic to your website. If it's already working, try doing that and see if that's helping your growth. Another way to think of advertising is if you have a product that would work on TikTok, meaning it's a lower price point, get into TikTok Shop and use that kind of influencer strategy as a way, like in replacement for your ad spend. It's not going to work for everyone, but it might work for some people. And it does take some testing. It's not like an immediate thing. And we also don't really know what's going to happen with TikTok over the next year. We shall see. Anyway, I hope that you enjoyed my ins and outs trends for 2025. And I really am wishing you your best year yet. I hope you join us for one of our free masterclasses this month and or one of our programs like Your Year to Thrive or Laying the Foundation, depending on where you are in your business. Thank you so much for listening today. This is Tracy Matthews signing off until next week. If you're loving these strategies for business growth, I want to invite you to something special. Your Year to Thrive is your complete blueprint for turning inspiration into real-world transformation in 2025. This isn't just another business planning program. We start with your vision of an ideal life and build your success around what truly matters to you. No more scattered ideas or overwhelming to-do lists. Inside, you'll discover the proven Evolve Blueprint, my step-by-step system to turning your biggest dreams into inevitable success. From a clear vision to confident execution, you'll finally have the roadmap you've been looking for. Your Year to Thrive is open for enrollment right now. Join us and make 2025 the year everything changes. Head on over to flourishthriveacademy.com/thrive to learn more and secure your spot. Let's truly make this your year to thrive. We got you.